Turbo Blaze, and if anyone else is interested, I've also got the Ninja Slushie here. And the reason I thought I'd do this is because it's going to be another couple of weeks before I release the full video on the Cosori Turbo Tower. Did I just call it a Turbo Blaze? I think I did. The Turbo Tower. And lots of people have been asking questions about it. So I thought if I just went live and showed you what it looks like, answered a few of the basic questions, it might be useful for people. So here we are tonight, and it'll be interesting to see which one is the more popular, whether it's the Cosori Turbo Tower or whether it's the Ninja Swirl, which I've been testing this week. So I will start by giving you a little bit of a basic tour of the Turbo Tower, which is this. This is Cosori's latest air fryer. A lot of people say to me, Cosori only copy what Ninja do. Obviously, Ninja came out with the stacked drawer thing. But I think what Cosori are very good at doing is that once Ninja have released innovation onto the market, Cosori then listen to what everybody is saying that they don't like about it or do like about it, and then they put those little tweaks into their design. And I have to say, I really, really like this, not least of all because it takes up a lot less room in the kitchen. So if you do have any specific questions about it, please do drop those in the comments. I've got my son here tonight. He is moderating the chat, and he's discovered that he can put people into timeout. So if you misbehave at all, he is absolutely itching to put people into timeout. I've also just realised that I've not logged on over here, so I can't see the questions. So just bear with me for a moment while I just have a quick look over here, because otherwise on my phone I shall not be able to see them. Right, let's call them up on here. Okay. Questions coming through, or you can't see it?
This isn't working.
Okay, that's not working. Well, that's fine. Don't worry about that. That's okay. Hang on a second. Let's bring up the... I'll tell you what. Can you come around and get that onto the questions? Because I can't actually see the questions on that computer. Right, sorry about that. We are live and we're working it out as we go along. So the Turbo Tower, a couple of things that are noticeable about this. Firstly, they've taken the styling from the Turbo Blaze, and you can't really see on here. It looks much straighter on the phone than it actually is in real life, because it kind of bows out at the bottom. So the bottom is wider than this top bit. So it sort of has that same styling that the Turbo Blaze has. And the beauty of that is that it allows the bottom drawer to be wider at the bottom and the top drawer to be narrower at the top. And the bottom drawer is also deeper. So I should add, you get a rack included in it. So the bottom drawer, I've just noticed, this is the hazard of testing air fryers in a real house. Look, somebody's actually used this without telling me, and it's full of crumbs, but there you go. So the deep drawer is at the bottom, and that really is super, super deep. Great. I'm going to be testing a chicken in that this weekend. And then you've got your crisper plate, and you can also layer things in it. So I've just remembered what was cooked in there. It was breaded chicken, and nobody cleaned it. Note to son, clean air fryer. So you can put one layer at the bottom, one layer at the top, and then you can do another layer in here. So you can do 3 layers. And you've probably noticed the other innovation, which is it's got 2 heating elements. So the bottom, this is not on both layers, but the bottom layer has got the heating element there. And then, can I tip it up and show you? Yes, heating element at the top as well. So they brought that over from the Turbo Blaze as well. The Dual Blaze, sorry. And then the top drawer is much shallower. Just about see how shallow it is. I'll take the crisper plate out as well. Look, nobody's comfort. Look, there's crumbs in there. You can tell at least that I've actually been using it. I'm definitely not, just showing you something that has just come out of a box. So there you go. That's the 2 things. I'm going to turn it on as well and attempt to show you the control panel, which could be fun. Yeah, it's not going to show really, is it? Let's try. If I tilt it, is that going to work? There you go. You can sort of vaguely see the control panel. So that's the same kind of high gloss finish that is on the jewel drawer as well. And then you've got all of these different programs on here. I'm debating whether to call them settings or presets because we never quite know. Are they actually different fan speeds? Some of them will be, some of them won't be. And I'll just tell you what they are. Let me just show you. Hang on. Come back. Here we go. So we have air fry, roast, bake, grill, reheat, dry, and proof for proofing bread. Let me just quickly check on the questions to see if anybody has popped in with any questions. None yet. Give me a thumbs up when there are any questions. There is one? Oh yeah. Okay. Sorry, on the other side. Yes. Okay. There's one directed at you, Theo. Okay. Could you possibly do a review and maintenance video of your Miele washing machine? Well, yeah, I haven't had to do any maintenance on it, you know. Everybody asks this to me, but we've been really, really super lucky with that washing machine, and we've never had to do anything with it. Literally, I was using it today. It's still running fine. I know people say that Miele, if you have to call out the engineers, it's very expensive, but we've never yet had to do that. So any questions about the turbo tower, do let me know. I know one thing that people complained about with the jewel basket with this high gloss finish on the control panel was that it can scratch. And like you get micro scratches on it if you use a sort of cloth on it to clean it. And I have to say that's never something that's actually bothered me with my jewel basket. I don't know if that's because of the lighting that I have in our kitchen and it's not very visible, but it's not something that's bothered me. If you've got the jewel basket and it bothers you either way, do let me know in the chat. That'd be really interesting to know. I've had the jewel basket now for 2 years. Yeah, 2 years. And if you saw the video that I did where I tested the different cleaning materials, the kind of air fry cleaning concoctions, I kind of ruined the jewel basket doing that. But the whole point was that I wanted to take the hit for you guys because I've got endless air fryers. And as a result of that, I think I will probably be switching to this now because we've got a smaller kitchen anyway. It takes up less space, and I've logically makes sense to swap to this because I kind of ruined the jewel basket. But it's not, doesn't mean the jewel basket's bad. Is there a release date for this air fryer in the UK? Really interesting. You should ask that because I literally just consulted. So sorry, I should make absolutely clear. Cosori sent me this. Sorry if I've misled anybody. Cosori sent this to me. They haven't asked me to do this live. Just did that because I wanted to. They haven't asked me to do anything actually, specifically. They've just sent me the air fryer. In the email they sent me, there was a press release, and it was very confusingly phrased because in the press release, which was dated July, it said that these were already available in Amazon and Argos and somewhere else that I can't think where it was. And they're not available in any of those places yet. And then I reread the press release and it said they're being launched next month. Now, next month is tomorrow, but I don't know exactly when in August they are launching them. Let me see if there's anything else. No other questions. Please do let me know, by the way, in the chat where you are in the world, because I've got people from all over the world joining and watching the videos, and it's always fascinating to know where you are. We were having a little look earlier, my son and I, at the kind of map of where people are watching, and there were some really random locations. We've had somebody who'd watched the video in Brazil, and I'm trying to think of the other. What? Kazakhstan. How random would it be if somebody is joining the live from Kazakhstan? I think that would be very impressive. Do let us know anyway in the chat. So that's the turbo tower. I think I've kind of covered everything. The only other thing to mention is I don't sadly have the Ninja double stack here in order to do a direct comparison, but I think it's not very deep. And certainly on the worktop, it feels like it's much shallower than the double stack is. So that's a real benefit, because some of the stacked air fryers are so deep that you can't give it clearance at the back and also pull the drawer out on your worktop because they're too deep. And okay, would you ever review portable dishwashers? Funny you should mention that. I was literally looking at them this week. So, okay, what, another one, okay, hang on, I'll just answer the dishwasher question. I was looking at portable dishwashers this week. Portable, do you mean portable, do you mean worktop? Just to clarify, because I think I was looking at worktop, maybe they're different to portable, don't know. I was looking at them. We are having a new under-counter dishwasher delivered tomorrow, and I spent a long time researching that, and I've ended up ordering a Bosch one. So I'll be doing a review of that. But I also think that the whole worktop dishwasher thing is very interesting. So if there's one in particular that you're looking at, drop that in the chat and I'll have a look, because I think that's something I should cover. Let's have a look. Okay, does the top and bottom heating element make a difference compared to the rear heated tower-based air fryers? That's sort of two questions. I prefer the fact that it has overhead heating, full stop, to having the back heating element, because I think the back heating element is, I don't want to say substandard, but less desirable. And I think that when Ninja designed, I did this all in the video, but when Ninja designed their double stack, they had the limitation of it fitting under the cabinets on the counter, and they sort of ended up having to put the heating elements at the back because there wasn't enough room. And these guys at Cosori have managed to achieve it, and I think that's preferable to having the heating element at the back. As for the heating element down there, jury's still out on that. I don't know that it's that useful. If you have the dual blaze and you swear by having the heating element at the bottom, let me know. Some people do. I don't think it's essential, but if you're going to get it anyway, in order to have the heating elements above, there's no downside to it, so it's a good thing. Okay, let's see what else there is. Just check up on here, see if there's any I've missed. There was Craig saying about the dishwasher. There's one on Amazon called the DMD. Could you just look that up for me and show it to me, and I'll just see if that's the one that. I was also looking at portable washing machines. You can buy these things that sort of contract, squash down, that you take on holiday with you, and then you kind of do that, and they wash your smalls for you while you're on holiday, which is an interesting idea. I'm going to show you the Ninja Swirl as I've got it here. Oh, is that okay? You're showing me the DMD. Okay, yeah, it's a tabletop dishwasher. I will look at that one. I like the idea of that. Yeah, let me show you the Swirl. This, by the way, quite heavy, but it's small. You're not going to be lifting it much. Ooh. Okay, here's the Swirl. God, this is really heavy. We debated trying to do live soft serving on this live. And the problem with that is that the first part of dispensing the ice cream involves blending it here in the tub. And that takes about 5 minutes. And I measured it the other day, it's 90 decibels. So it would be a very uninspiring live, because either I would have to blend for 5 minutes without talking, or I'd have to shout over the top of it. So that's why I'm not dispensing live from it. But just to show you how it works, because I couldn't quite get my head around it when I was looking at it online. This is the tub that you freeze everything in. And that serves a purpose when we get to the soft serving. But you fill this up with, literally you can just use yogurt, or you can put coconut milk in there. You can, I'm trying to think what the really low effort, oh, fruit, tinned fruit, of course, you can put in there. And you literally just put it in there, freeze it with the lid on it. And then once it's frozen, 24 hours later, you put it into this. You put the lid on, which is here, like that, and then you slide it in, lock it into place, turn it on, and it blends for 5 minutes incredibly noisily. But coffee machines are also noisy, lots of appliances are noisy. Then you release it, bring it out, release your tub, then you put, what do they call it, dispensing lid, I think they call it a dispensing lid. You put that on, like that. And then, oh, hang on, sorry, other step, you have to pull down this bit. You sort of, essentially what you're doing is you're opening up that channel behind this nozzle, whereas obviously you don't want that open when you're blending in the jug. So you then get this, whoop, try not to fall over the turbo tower, and you put this into position with the blue bit lining up with the blue bit, like that. And then, using the handle, you then dispense from this. Now, the one thing that everybody, well, there's two things that everybody have asked about this, because I did a couple of shorts earlier on in the week. Question number one is, why would you spend so much money on a machine that's enormous that does one job? I mean, technically it does too, because it blends the ice cream and then it dispenses. And I think the answer to that is this isn't for everybody. It doesn't have to be for everybody. It's okay if you don't want to buy it. But the reason this exists is because there is a massive trend at the moment for home entertaining and kind of experience cooking, you know, like pizza ovens and barbecues, where people stand around and watch the food being prepared. And so this fits really nicely into that demand in the market, because if you're inviting people over regularly for pizzas or barbecues, after that you want something to serve as dessert, and this is a great crowd pleaser. Every time I've got it out and I've had people round who haven't seen it before, they want to see it in action because it's interesting. So that's why it exists, and if you don't want to buy it, you don't have to buy it, but it's fun. And the second question people ask is about cleaning. Let me show you one thing on the machine. This is the controversial thing. So everything that comes into direct contact with the ice cream is washable, dishwashable. You know what I mean? Can go in the dishwasher. But there is one bit that's kind of caused a bit of controversy, which is, I'm going to try my best to show you. At the bottom here, this bit doesn't come off. But in here, there's sort of a little channel. And it does, so far, it's come out clean when I put it in the dishwasher. It's been absolutely fine. There's no issues with anything in there. Can you see it better there? Sort of. It's literally underneath. It's there. And some people have said they don't like the fact that you can't sort of get in there to clean it. Now, what you can do is get in there with, you know, those little bottle brushes that you get with straws, reusable straws. They're perfect for it. You can stick them in there and you can have a good clean. But as I say, in my experience, even with my rubbish dishwasher, which is being replaced tomorrow, every time I put this in the dishwasher, it's come out clean. So I don't think it's an issue, and it's certainly not a big enough issue for me to return this. But there will always be people who will say, it's dairy, there's all sorts of risks of contamination and mold and blah, blah, blah. So that's the only negative that I have seen about this online so far. Okay, let's have a look at some of the questions. Craig, we're on it with the dishwasher. I have this one, and I think the bottom heating element makes it cook more evenly. Not done any thorough testing though. So that's the jaw blaze. I was asking about the bottom heating element on the turbo tower. I love your videos. Look forward to. Oh, thank you so much. Genuinely, it amazes me that anybody watches my videos, and it amazes me that anybody watches more than one, because I thought I was just being helpful when people were looking for specific information on a single air fryer. But the fact that some of you watch more than one video blows my mind, and I'm very grateful. Saw your review on air fryers a while ago. Very plain, straight to the point. Loved it. Shocked when I saw that you don't have many subscribers. Well, do you know, this time last year I had 7,500 subscribers, and I'm now at 34, which is great. Yeah, it's kind of crazy how much it's grown in a year. And all of us YouTubers are after the, I don't know if you know, but they do a silver plaque when you get to 100,000 subscribers. YouTube sends you this thing. And behind me on the shelf, you'll notice this thing, right? Do you see this picture here? That is a placeholder, so that when I get my 100,000 subscribers, that is going to be there. So we will laugh about that, because that picture's just there so that I'm waiting for the YouTube plaque. Right, so let's go back to questions. Okay. Thank you, Theo, for your input on the chat. That's my son, by the way, Yummy in No Time. That's an account that I set up for him 10 years ago when he was 3, and he was very into cooking. And he has never used it. And he's even more into cooking now, and I keep telling him that he's got to set up his YouTube account, because it's a brilliant name. The Ninja Creamy and the Ninja Slushy. What was the question, Isabella? Hi from Denmark, by the way, and hello Denmark. Price that you want to see. Sorry, slow on the uptake. So the creamy, I've already done it. I've literally got it here. Look, it's literally here. Is that the right way around? Yes. And in fact, that's an interesting size comparison for you, because the two of them next to each other. Oh, look at that. Now, here's the other thing. I honestly, because you know I'm honest, I've been cursing this machine because it's so big and it's really difficult to store. And the honest truth is that you do spend 6 months of the year not using it, because you're not going to get it out in December. You just aren't. It's brilliant when the weather's hot, but you're just not going to use it in December. You get your slow cooker out and things like that. So I have gone from this big, heavy machine that I curse because it's difficult to store in a small kitchen to this machine, which is literally twice the size. Some people can't be helped, obviously. And all my neighbours now want to buy this one off me, because I can't keep 2 of them. That would be ridiculous. I've held out on buying the slushy because, why have I held out on buying the slushy? Well, one, it's really expensive. I mean, this was really expensive. Theo will drop a link in the comments, by the way, because depending on... No, it's not working? No. It's not working. Get it from here. You can copy it from here. He will drop a link in the comments, because there's no point in me telling you prices, because depending on where you are, for instance, in Denmark, it's different prices everywhere. So, yeah, so it's very, very expensive, and I wasn't sure that you guys would actually be that interested in the slushy, so it's really interesting, Isabella, to hear that you are. I'll tell you what I have been offered, though, is a free sample of one produced by another company that's basically a Ninja Slushy rip-off, but at, you know, a cheaper price. And I was intrigued enough about that to say that I would take a sample of it, but then they said, sorry, you haven't made the grade. So they asked me if I wanted it, they dangled it, and I said, yes, great. And then they said, no, sorry, the brand says you can't have one. Happens sometimes. Yeah, if you just get the link off there.
What link?
The link for the Ninja, the Swirl, and then you can drop it in the chat, and then people will be able to see the different prices. Just bear with me. He's literally, today is my son's first day of working with me, and I'm hoping he's going to do a couple of hours a week with me, and I'm hoping that's going to enable me to get more things out. And one of the things that I need to do is, I'm not sure if you're aware, but I have a website. I've been trying to do a blog post on that website every single time I release an air fryer video to show you what fits in the drawers of those different air fryers, because I know that often it's difficult if you want to buy a £2 bread tin or things like that. You don't know which one is actually going to fit in it. So I've got a backlog of those things, and he is going to, here we go, he's going to do those hopefully for me. Right, let me get, for anyone who's joined recently, I'm going to get the turbo tower out again because I think some people have joined the chat quite recently. Oh, let me go. Oh my goodness me, it really is quite heavy. Next Wednesday, the Swirl video is coming out. Then I'm going to do a washing machine review because my parents have bought a massive large capacity washing machine, and I thought that would be interesting because I don't do many washing machines for obvious reasons. They're quite difficult to get in and out of the house, so I thought I'd take advantage of their washing machine. And then I'm doing the turbo tower, then I'm doing my dishwasher, and then we'll see what comes after that, because I hear loud and clear that a lot of you have said you're sick to death of air fryers. And it's tricky because everybody asks for air fryers. Air fryers are the views winner, and I've done a lot of them, but I realise that I probably do need to branch out. Let's have a quick look at, see if there's any more. Okay. Oh, Kim, thank you very much. Thank you very much for your lovely message. The last live I did months ago, I was just overcome by how nice you people are. You really are lovely people. I went onto TikTok, as you probably know, earlier on in this year, and TikTok is something that all of us on YouTube are being told that we need to embrace. And it's a bit of a, it's the Wild West, basically. So I did this video and you get savaged by people because because it's like fast videos, you get fast reactions from people. They just literally like leap on you and say, have you done this? Have you done that? I don't like the way you've done this. It's crazy. Whereas here, I find that everybody on YouTube is much more of a thinker, and you give much more considered replies to things. So I appreciate that a lot. Have you ever reviewed a small espresso maker? Not yet, but I will. Never get sick of air fryer reviews. This is crazy. Thank you, Kim, but this is crazy because, as I said earlier, I never thought anyone would watch more than one of them. But I love the fact that you do. Thank you. Enormously appreciate your support. Tell me as well in the chat what kind of stuff you would like to see in the future. Is it washing machines? I was doing some research and I found that the biggest selling home appliances are washing machines and fridges. So I feel like I should be doing more of those. I don't know. What is it in your house that you're going to have to replace next that you want someone to do the research for? Tell me in the chat. We are coming up on about half an hour on this live, and I'm doing this on my phone because that is the sort of recommended way to go now with YouTube lives. So I may end up running out of power. I kind of thought if I could do half an hour on my phone, that would be good going. Do let me know if there's anything else you want to know. I'll do, as I say, I'll just do a quick tour of the turbo tower for anyone who's just arrived. Top of the tower is the thinner, shallower drawer. You got a problem?
No, I was checking battery.
Oh, you're checking battery. This battery's doing quite well, actually. Yeah, this is the shallow drawer. As I said earlier, if you have just recently joined us, look, real life here. The drawer is not clean. Someone has used the drawer in my house without my consent and not cleaned it. Children home for the summer holidays, it happens. Right. And then, the bottom, have a look. I'm with Kim. As a vegan, I use air fryers a lot and need a large capacity even when only cooking for one. So it's great to see how much you can fit into them. Absolutely. Are the ceramic plates in the Turbo Tower easier to clean than normal non-stick? I've found most air fryers pretty easy to clean, with the exception of, you know, the plates in them are pretty easy to clean, with the exception of the ones that I've actively said have been a nightmare. And I'm trying to think which ones there were, but it was, oh God, there was one that was horrible to clean. I'm trying to think which one it was. I want to say possibly the budget tower one that I reviewed, but there was one that was truly awful. I couldn't wait to get it out of the house because I used it a couple of times. It was a nightmare to clean. So far they've been good. So this is the deeper drawer, complete with crumbs. Should we just tip the crumbs out? Look at that. That's the deeper drawer. Okay, what questions? One more question, okay. I'm looking. Okay, let's have a look. Oh, okay, nothing to do with air fryers. Watching live, I think. Just wondering if your voice has been AI'd. I keep getting ads for Land Rover finance frauds and the voice of the actress sounds like you. No, but I'd like that gig. That would be great. I will now have a listen. That happened. I saw somebody on the news who was a voice actress, and she got her voice stolen, which is so random, by a train company. And they interviewed her on a train, and they were literally, the announcements were coming on and it was her, but it wasn't her. It was an AI version of her. Terrifying. Apparently AI influencers, by the way, are the future, and I should be making a AI version of myself and like taking ownership of it. That's the advice. Does that mean I get to stay at home and not do any work? That'd be great. Just check the comments as well. Please can you tell us the dimensions of the baskets? Yes, I can. And do you know what? There is a tape measure under my desk that's been sitting there for about a week. Let me just get it. There's now 2 tape measures in the room because he went to get one. I just knew that there was one. You know when you walk out of a room and you keep seeing something, you keep thinking, I must pick that up. It was under the desk, just under like the bit where the legs are on the desk. I was like, there you go. I've been keeping it for ages. Right, let me tell you the dimensions of the drawers. Just clear the crumbs away. Right. This one is, do you like it in centimetres or inches? I'm going with centimetres. It is approximately, because I never like to give a precise, it is 24 centimetres. But honestly, if we're doing it in millimetres, it's 241. Yeah, that would be right, wouldn't it? Because it's slightly over 24 centimetres. And then again, slightly under 24 centimetres the other way, so 23.5-ish. And depth-wise, it is 8.5. I'm going to ruin the magic now. I'm going to have to put my glasses on. There we go. Let's have a look. That's much better. I can see now. 8.5 deep. And then if we put that in, how deep is it with the tree? That is 7 deep. And in comparison, look at the bottom one. It is across. So the other one I said was 24. That's interesting. Top of it again is 24. And I could have sworn it's wider. 23.5 there. Let me see if the actual bottom is wider, because it has this appearance of being wider at the bottom. Well, that doesn't make any sense. At the bottom, it's 22.5 by by 23. I don't know. Crazy things happening. Depth is 12.5. So much deeper. But that's really interesting because, as I say, it looks like it's wider at the bottom, but it's actually not. Stick that back in. Any more questions? Okay. Oh, another person. So there's another person from Denmark join the chat. Are the heating elements at the back or above the food? Jonathan, this is the revelation with the turbo tower. More questions? I know. I'm going to answer this question first. Oh, you did? My mod has already answered the question. Check him out with his air fry knowledge. I'll just show you anyway, Jonathan. So let's take the drawers out. Okay, so you can see you've got one heating on the bottom area. You've got one heating element on the bottom, but you've got heating elements at the top too. This is where Cosori are really, really clever. It's the fact that they actually take all these extra innovations and put them into something that Ninja has come up with, which is the concept of two drawers on top of each other. But then Cosori just add the cherry on the top. I said earlier in the live, and I just want to be absolutely clear, I was given this by Cosori, but basically I don't sort of have any relationship with them. They just send me the air fryer. They don't ask me what to do with it or, you know, give me instructions on what I have to say in any of the videos. They literally just send me the air fryer. And famously, when I did my first Cosori review, which was the 5-litre air fryer, I was quite negative about it because I don't like that air fryer. It's the one that has a basket instead of a crisper plate. And so you can't take the basket out to cook on the bottom of it. And I was quite negative about it. And either they don't watch my videos or they don't care what I say because they gave me another air fryer. So I'm not beholden to them in any way. Although I have to say, I did think about buying this one purely because I had this feeling that I was going to really like it, and that could be problematic in the future when new people join the channel and go, oh, she's only saying she likes it because she was given it. I'm not. I'm a middle-aged woman. I don't bother trying to please people anymore. Let's see if there's any more questions. So, emotional support Viking. Love it. Okay, if there are no more questions, I'm going to wrap this up in a moment. I will just one more time. 10 minutes? 10 minutes? My mod is telling me 10 minutes. I will get the swirl out one more time in case anybody hasn't seen the swirl, but fire off any more questions if there are any. Oh my goodness, this is why I don't need to go to the gym anymore. Oh, here we go. That's the swirl. If you missed the chat on the swirl earlier, this is how it works. You have a tub, you fill your tub with yogurts or tinned fruits, or you make an ice cream mix. We made gelato earlier this week. You put the lid on, which I apparently don't have here, stick it in the freezer, freeze it for 24 hours. As I said to someone earlier this week, ice cream doesn't understand day divisions. It may not be 24 hours. You can sometimes get away with just doing it for 12 hours. It doesn't know. It's just convenient that they say 24 hours. Take it out of the freezer, put it into this, like that. Add this lid on it, which has a blade in it. Oh, reminds me, I'll show you something. Hang on. Small change that Ninja have made. This is the blade for the creamy. And if you can see, it's quite difficult to get in there and clean it. Can you see it's got like a sort of almost a flower shaped thing, and it's quite difficult to get in there and clean. And that was something that people complained about. And now they have made this one for the swirl, which is a lot easier to get into because it's bigger. So that's nice to see. I can't really, can I show it to you together? Sort of. they, you know, if you get the second generation of anything, or the third generation in this case, you're always going to get a better version because they've modified it. So the blade goes in like that into the lid. You put the lid on, click it in place, bring the swirl over, slide it in, do that, lock it into place, turn the swirl on, select soft serve, ice cream, depending on which recipe you have made. There's different options here. Blend it for 5 minutes. It's incredibly noisy, 90 dB when I measured it compared to, I think it was 92 actually. And I think the original creamy was like 87. But this blends for 5 minutes and the creamy blends for 2 minutes. So it's louder for longer. Not great for open plan living. And when it's finished, pop it out, take the lid off. Then you put the special dispense lid on. This does come apart for cleaning, by the way. Okay, this is always the one I mess up, there we go. And then you put that into this dispenser. Oh, sorry, one more step. You have to open up the bottom like that. And that basically releases the flow from the pot to the nozzle, which dispenses the soft serve, because you don't obviously want ice cream coming out of the bottom when you're blending it. Put that in like that, and then it dispenses. So I made 8 pots of ice cream in the last week to review this. You get 2 pots supplied, and we literally did 2 every single day, washed them up, put another batch in the freezer, then blended the next day. And I was feeding them to all the neighbourhood kids. So we were telling them at 3 o'clock every afternoon, we will have ice cream at our house. And by day 2, I had children ringing on the doorbell at 2 minutes past 3 asking for ice cream. It's been hugely popular. Let's have a look at more questions. Is the Cosori air fryer you just showed available in the UK market? No, not yet. So, as I said, Cosori sent this to me, but I don't have a relationship with them, so I can send them emails, but sometimes I don't get answers. So I'm not like on the inside of Cosori. But they sent me a press release, and the press release said it's out next month. Next month is tomorrow. So sometime in August it is out. And I wish I could give you a precise answer. If I get one back from them, I'll stick it on the community posts page on my YouTube channel. Apparently someone in, oh yeah, okay, Rob, thank you, appreciate. I see that my moderator has asked if you would like these questions to be a regular session. He is trying to tell me that I need to do this monthly to kind of get your Q&As on everything that I've reviewed in that particular month. So if you do want that, let me know. Bearing in mind, I'm now, like, I've recruited him to work for me. So he's invested in doing more regular lives because he gets paid for it. Okay, so we're nearly done with our extra 10 minutes. Thank you very much for joining, by the way. It's always great to do these lives because it kind of cuts away all the layers of complexity that you have to do when you actually record a video. If there is anything else you want to know, if there's anything else you would like to see reviewed on the channel, stick it in the chat, add it on the comments on any of the videos. You've now got this community page on my channel as well, where you can post your own content. So if you've just bought something and you want to share it with the world, you can stick that on the community tab as well. We're all learning with that. That's quite a new feature with YouTube, and we're just seeing how it's going to go. So thank you very much. Thank you, Time Traveller Karen, for the thumbs up for the Q&A. Thank you, Adrian. Thank you, Isabella. Thank you, Rob. Susmita, sorry, that's my dodgy eyes again. I can't read. And everyone else who joined. Raven Flame, thank you. Very much appreciated. Until the next time. Thanks, guys.